In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Stormtrooper Commander for the Black Series 6-inch line as part of Gaming Greats. I've briefly talked about this action figure before. I did make a short featuring the 3 different versions of the Stormtrooper Commander that Hasbro has made. This one, and then the 2 and 3 3/4 inch. But I never got around to making the individual video for the Black Series one here, so the time has finally come to make that happen. I'm personally a big fan of this action figure. It might very well be one of my favorite Stormtroopers. The Sand Trooper is easily going to be number 1 or 2, but this one's going to be in the top 5. A lot of us were very surprised when Hasbro announced they were going to be doing a Black Series Stormtrooper Commander. It was a dream item for many of us. And then when they actually followed through with it, it was like, oh wow, they're actually doing it. Same with the TBC action figure. I've talked about that one before. When Hasbro introduced the new Stormtrooper sculpt, this one here, I doubted them so much that they would actually make it that I was thinking about making my own custom Stormtrooper Commander, which would have been very easy to do anyway. I just take the generic white Rogue One Stormtrooper and then paint them in the color scheme there. Still might do that someday just to have my own custom, but we'll see. But for this Black Series action figure here, he's reutilizing the original body of the Stormtrooper from back in 2013 and 14 when it was in the black and orange packaging. It's an alright sculpt. I think it still holds up pretty good. It's not perfect in every way. The big thing is you can see the legs are bowing out, which is a common problem with a lot of these original Black Series action figures because they have very soft plastic. I think the clones kind of have that problem as well, and then maybe some of the Jedi. But at least for the most part, he's relatively stable. I think he may have been one of the very first Gaming Greats action figures that Hasbro made at the time. This was the introduction of the line. It was this guy, and then you had the Heavy Battle Droid from Battlefront 2, the newer one, and then I think there was the Shadow Stormtrooper as well, which I never got around to getting. So this was kind of a revolutionary time because this was Hasbro starting to break out more into the expanding universe with Black Series, which a lot of us never thought they would actually do, but they did. Let's just take a closer look at them. So I really like that helmet sculpt. I really like the blue stripe that he has going over his eye. It's very striking. You can see he has some weathering on him, like the dirt mark right there. That's probably about the biggest one. He does have the blue hash marks on the side here. Mouth is painted good. Lenses are good. He does have the black line over his brow, although I think there should be some space between the brow and the lenses, but that's okay. Looks like they pretty much got all the accurate paint markings. It does have some weathering back here and some scrapes on the blue. Some people treat this as like a 501st Stormtrooper as well. If you had a whole army of these, you could definitely make that happen. And that'd be a really cool diorama to make for both scales. As for the rest of his body, pretty standard for Stormtrooper. You see his blue markings, all the various scrapes and weathering all throughout. He has the striping on this side here. And same for this side. And blue shoulder armor. Has the Stormtrooper belt. Does have the holster where you can store the E11. Has the thermal detonator. And this side of his leg is blue paint. He does have the blue markings on his boots there. And there's some weathering mixed in throughout. In terms of his articulation, he does have a double ball joint. He has the hinge at the base of the neck and then at the actual head itself. So he has a very wide range of motion, as you can see. You can pretty much get him in any position you want. You can have him look down even, or all the way up. Very nice. I don't even know if the newer... I would have to go back and check my newer Stormtrooper sculpts, but I'm not even sure the newer Black Series Stormtroopers can do quite this much maneuverability. So it's very nice. He does have hinge at the shoulders, which are a little restricted, and unfortunately you can't lift the shoulder armor above his torso there in order to allow for more flexibility. It is what it is, though. So you just have a little bit of motion. It does have hinge at the shoulders, or a double hinge, and does go past 90. Joint at the torso. Let me see. Yeah, he has a swivel bicep as well. And of course the hinged wrists. This one goes in and out, and this one up and down. Some of the joints on this are pretty tough to break. But yep, joint at the torso, and hinge tips, swivel thigh, double hinge at the knees, but it's pretty well concealed, even though it has the pins. And then of course the rocker ankles. In terms of weapons and accessories, very basic for the Stormtrooper Commander. He comes with the longer rifle, which I'm pretty sure this is the same rifle that IG-88 uses. But it's nice, even in the vintage collection, they were consistent and included this rifle as well. Occasionally we get Stormtroopers that have this. And the original Stormtrooper from 2013 also had this rifle. And then, as usual, like most Stormtroopers have, it does have the standard E11. Nothing really unique about it. Just some silver paint there. I think this is original E11. But it sits very securely in his holster. I like having him displayed with the longer rifle here. Something a little bit different. It seems more practical to be carrying a rifle like that. But I think that's pretty much all I can tell you about this Stormtrooper Commander. Go ahead and bring out all the versions one more time here. And now we have all of them reviewed on the channel. Here's the original from the 30th anniversary line. He was also repacked in the Legacy collection. Then we have the TVC Stormtrooper Commander. I think it's been almost 2 years since I've done this video. And they're all great action figures. I'm happy to have a sample of each one. So would I recommend the Black Series Stormtrooper Commander for your collection? I totally would. If you're a big fan of the Force Unleashed, unique Stormtroopers, even if you want to treat this as a 501st Stormtrooper, whatever. Personally, it's one of my favorite types of Stormtroopers that has ever been made in Star Wars. It's just very neat how the markings are. And it's a great action figure. I don't think the prices for him are too bad. I paid a retail price for him at the time, and I don't think since then it's really gone up that much. It might be somewhere in the $30 range at this point. I have to go back and check, but I know it's not too bad. But you can always use more great looking Stormtroopers in your collection. And I think this mold still holds up well, even with all the newer ones. This one has its own charm to it. Like I said, that neck articulation is very good. And the posability on it's pretty good as well. And I like the overall sculpting work. But happy is a part of my collection. Happy all three of these are a part of my collection. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.